So apparently, now is a bad time to buy. At least that's what 70% of Americans think. So here's what's interesting, as I came across an article just the other day, and that's exactly what the headline said, is that 70% of Americans believe that now is a bad time to buy a home. So of course this caught my attention, being in the mortgage business, and with my livelihood depending upon people buying homes and financing those homes, I was curious what this had to say. Well, after digging into the article a little bit more and referencing the actual data behind what they were sharing, I actually kind of agreed with them. However, there were certain aspects that they left out, and that's what I wanted to share with you. Not just what the article said, but the bigger picture. Let's get moving.
My name is Scott Wynn, and I am a licensed mortgage advisor with the Wynn and Egan team at Citywide Home Loans. If you want to buy a home in the next 12 months, then click that subscribe button, and together we'll make it happen.
When I first read this headline of 70% of Americans thinking that now is a bad time to buy, I was actually quite shocked. But the more I dug into it, the more I understood what buyers were feeling. I can completely understand why buyers might not be interested in buying a home right now. Probably the biggest factor playing into this is the fact that we've been in a low inventory environment for quite some time. See, a balanced market is a market where we have about 6 months of inventory. Well, the last time we actually saw 6 months of inventory was in 2012. As of December 2021, we were at just 1.8 months of inventory. But that's just one of the factors that's playing into the decision that it might be a bad time to buy a home. Just look at home prices. They've basically been skyrocketing since the summer of 2019. A typical housing appreciation rate sits at around 4% on average. And over the last year, we saw nationwide housing appreciation sitting at 18.5%. And there's one more really big impact to buyers: interest rates. Interest rates have been climbing pretty steadily over the last few months. We've gotten used to rates being in the low threes or even into the twos. And so as we've started to see these rates increase, it's a hard pill to swallow. According to Freddie Mac's most recent rate survey, we are sitting at 3.65% for a United States average in terms of 30-year fixed interest rates on an owner-occupied home with 20% down. Those increased interest rates have increased the cost of buying a home pretty quickly. So based on all of this information, I would agree that buying a home may not necessarily look like a great idea. And we all know that big, bold headlines with a slant towards the negative will grab people's attention. Hey, it got my attention when I read the headline, but let's look at the whole picture, the rest of the report. Okay, so we already know that 70% think it's a bad time to buy, but the report also stated that 69% believe it's a good time to sell, and 43% think that home prices will increase over the next 12 months. The Home Price Expectation Survey expects cumulative house appreciation by 2026 to be 43.3%, with optimists estimating that to be at 62.5%, and even pessimists estimating housing appreciation to be at 23.7% cumulative by 2026. Now, I'm not here to convince anybody to buy a home. There are a lot of factors that play into making a home purchase, including financial decisions, emotional decisions, and personal decisions. But when I look at the big picture, I see opportunity. 69% of Americans believe that now is a good time to sell. And if it's a good time to sell, that means that more people are more likely to sell, which is going to provide more inventory for buyers to buy. 70% think that now is a bad time to buy, which means that there will be less buyers likely to buy. And that will push us more towards a balanced market. And rates have gone up. There's no disputing that. And honestly, they're probably going to continue to go up a little bit. But historically, we are very, very low. In the 1970s, we were in the 8% range. In the 80s, almost 13%. Back to the 8% in the 90s, down to 6% in the 2000s, 4% in the 2010s. And being that the United States national average right now is sitting in the higher threes, again, we are at historically low interest rates. Homes are not as affordable as they were a year ago. Home prices have gone up. Interest rates have gone up. It just makes it less affordable than it was a year ago. But my guess is that it's going to be less affordable a year from now than it is right now. So I wouldn't go so far to say that it's a bad time to buy. It's just not as good as it was a year ago. But overall, if we look at all the data, I think it's still a great time to consider a home purchase.